What's going on, everybody? Jay Howe here, and in this video we're going to cover the new Unhallowed Essence set. Today is March 11th. They made an update on the PTR yesterday, making some tweaks to the set. So if you were looking at that the first time around, maybe you caught Bandit's video, they have made a few tweaks. I missed the first go around, but the PTR buff is back. I farmed this up, and I'm trying to come up with some builds, come up with some ways to make this work, and so far I found something that is working and is working fantastic. Now, we're going to go over the Unhallowed Essence set real quick because the changes are pretty significant. The two-piece bonus, your generators also generate one discipline, which is huge, and we'll go over that as you see the six-piece there. But let's hit the four-piece. The four-piece, they tweak this a little bit so you get an extra damage increase as opposed to just a damage reduction. You get 20% damage reduction and 20% increased damage for 4 seconds if no enemy is within 10 yards. And you get this buff here, and it's a rolling 4 seconds. So that's going to be there. If you get within 10 yards and you get out that 4 seconds, you know, you're going to be fine. The six-piece bonus is where everything really changes the game. Your generators and multi-shot deal 15% increased damage for every point of discipline you have. That's huge because there are several ways that you can boost this. They've now made it to where more items can have that bonus discipline. You'll see here in the secondary of this weapon, that's an extra 11 discipline that can roll 9 to 12. That's basically an 11% damage increase. So not only having the proper primary affixes is going to be important, but also having the secondary affixes as well. You see here that we also have it on the secondary of our chest piece. You're going to try and get max discipline in all these different areas as best you can. You can get it on the quiver. Unfortunately, we don't have it here, but I'm going to go over this quiver as well because they made some changes to Dead Man's Legacy. There's just so many different options that just make this absolutely incredible. Now, the build that I'm running currently, I've been messing with some different stuff. There's probably going to be some more tweaks along the way. I already cleared a Greater Rift 42 fairly easily. I'm going to get you guys some gameplay as well, showing you this build in action. The build is simply a fire build revolving around multi-shot. It should look fairly familiar, but it's going to be quite different because obviously you're not running the sentries, you're not running the marauders. Entangling shot with Justice is Served, multi-shot with Arsenal, Vault with Tumble, Vengeance with Seethe, and this is one that I'll go over here in a second, Preparation with Invigoration, Companion with Bat Companion. For passives, Night Stalker, Ballistics, Awareness, Steady Aim. Now here's a couple things that are going to be different. Now you can mess with the skills all you want. There's going to be a lot of different builds that are going to be tested on the PTR, by myself included. This is one that is probably going to be absolutely necessary, especially when you're running the Unhallowed Essence. Preparation instantly restores discipline. So if you find yourself low on discipline, that's one way to get it back. But this right here, this skill rune, passively, permanently increase maximum discipline by 15%. That is instantly a 15% damage increase. This is awesome. This is such a great rune. Yes, there's a lot of different stuff you can use, but that right there is instant awesome for this build when you're running the Unhallowed Essence. Now, Vengeance with Seethe, I've been using this to get the hatred back. You can easily run Marked for Death or any number of things that go on here. This is one that I'm sure will likely change as I go on, but I threw this together and I have found that this works absolutely incredible. Steady Aim, this is going to work good because you're going to stay back. Ballistics, because you're still getting the rockets from multi-shot. And I'm trying to find different ways to incorporate some of the more damaging skills, but right now Night Stalker is one that I'm running to get the extra primary, the hatred back, because it's no longer a pure dump. And the reason why I'm saying that is because the restraint and focus, it's a little bit more clear in terms of how they're doing this now. You're now running a full six-piece Unhallowed Essence, no longer a Ring of Royal Grandeur. I tried that with some type of Natalia's combination, running a 3 or 4-piece set there, trying to get that going to get Unhallowed Essence and Natalia's. I'm going to be doing a separate video for that as the PTR progresses. But these are key items. Now, these are all things that have changed, or there's new set pieces, and I'm going to go over all the different ones because these are absolutely incredible. Restraint and focus, the two-piece bonus, getting these together. After casting a resource-generating attack or primary skill, deal 50% increased damage for 5 seconds. And there's a primary one, and you'll see it's a rolling 5 seconds. We can just kind of refresh that. So there's going to be a lot of alternating of skills. Now the other 2-set bonus, after casting a resource spending attack, deal 50% increased damage for 5 seconds. So increase there, and now I've got the restraint and the focused buff going there. So if you can kind of roll those back and forth, get some type of rotation going on so you're not dropping that off. This also does really well to play to the Taeguk strength, in the sense that every time you spend a primary resource, you gain increased damage, that 0.5%. So running some type of combination between the two and keeping that stack up, you can get your Taeguk stack up, you can get your hatred back up. And that's what I said, I'm probably going to go... I was running something with bolas to get the extra damage because you're going to rely a little bit more on your primary there to get that damage out. I'm trying to find ways to manipulate the skills to really take advantage of the Unhallowed Essence and the focus and the restraint. Those things are great. The Unhallowed Essence is just... I was skeptical at first, but I have quickly grown to love this. And if I can get the proper gear where I have max discipline in the right areas, this is going to be absolutely outstanding. Now, here's another change that's going to work absolutely incredible with the Unhallowed Essence. Now, like I said, your generators and multi-shot deal 15% increased damage for every point of discipline you have. Now, stack that up. This is awesome. The Dead Man's Legacy. They've updated this. Multi-shot, you'll see in the secondary there in the orange text. Multi-shot hits enemies below, and this can roll between 50 and 60%. This doesn't really make too much of a difference on Torment 6, but the minute you go into a Greater Rift, especially a higher Greater Rift, when they're below, say, 60% health, that's still a lot of health left, especially when you're in those high Greater Rifts. This hits twice, with the Taeguk being stacked properly, and the focus and restraint being, keeping up 100% uptime on that. Even without an ancient bow, I'm critting for over 300 million twice. That's awesome. This thing is mowing stuff down at a pretty rapid pace. There's some other pieces of gear that I'm looking at getting and swapping out, but for right now I'm still running Reaper's Wraps and just this amulet here. I need something different. I was trying to get my Zeiss Stone, but the queue time, I haven't had a chance to swap that over from another character. So I've been running the Gem of Efficacious Toxin. That's good because your multi-shot has a really wide spread, so it's hitting a lot of enemies. So you're getting that 10% damage buff there. There's a couple of belts that are really cool. I've been using this one. Like I said, I've got bolas rolled on this gear right here. This is one that I've been using, there's a couple different ways to go about this, and this is one of the things that I was looking at with Vengeance. Maybe running something different like caltrops. Like putting all this together, you can use any of these. I did check this. Whatever rune you run, this belt here now drops a caltrop whenever you vault, and there you can see it. So if I were to say change that over to Bait the Trapper, you get the extra 10% crit damage. You'll see that that buff now appears. So whatever rune you're running is actually going to work there. Obviously, you're not using any discipline when you do that. But you can have a dot spell there. There was some stuff I was looking at in terms of a physical build. Maybe full broadside here, and then going with some type of physical primary. And then, being able to vault around to be able to drop those caltrops. There's a lot of different stuff you can use. And these are all things I'm going to be trying. So as the PTR progresses, there's probably still going to be a few more changes. But I will put some gameplay together for you guys and really make this, something. I'm telling you, I've already cleared this. Very first Greater Rift I went into. I actually rolled a 42 frag in there. It does take some getting used to in the sense that you're not going to be as worried about sentry placement anymore because that's not going to exist. So it's more understanding, keeping your 100% uptime, being able to keep your restraint and focus up at all times. And like I said, tying in the Taeguk works really well when you're doing that, because if you're already trying to keep your restraint up, you can simultaneously keep the Taeguk up. and being able to get the right skills in the right area. You can pretty much have the extra damage buff from restraint and focus. And then, of course, keeping your discipline up is very important. Like I said, having the permanent increase there, plus having it no longer, so often we ran it with punishment to get the hatred back to be able to use that. But having a permanent 15% damage increase, plus being able to get that discipline back, say when you have to vault out of danger, you can see that if we had to vault all over the map, we can still go quite a bit and then turn right around and get most of our discipline back and thus get our damage buff back. So there's a lot of things you can do to make this work, and hopefully you guys are trying this out as well. If you're not playing the PTR, I don't blame you. Right now, if you did want to hop on, you can literally get everything on any character you want with this community event buff here. Like I said, I will keep you guys more up to date as more changes take place. I wanted to let you guys know that when 2.2 drops, I think you're really going to like the Unhallowed Essence. I'm going to test as much as I possibly can, bring you guys the best possible build I can come up with. And right now, I'll just run out here in some T6 stuff just so I can give you something of an idea. But we'll go in here. And there you can see these crits are just, looks like new... Sorry, I'm trying to find my my V key. I didn't see the health bar. Looks like some new new bounties here. But you can literally walk through so long as you keep this up, and I don't even have to worry too much about keeping restraint and focused up, because when you're in T6, you can literally walk through with this. It's amazing. Let's see what the goblin. This is the 2,000% buff. As you can see, we get lots here. Only 2. But this is just an idea. If you're doing T6 farming, you can see that if you have things in place, you literally just one-shot walk through. And this just, like I said, I'm going to give you guys some gameplay, but right now, just walking into T6, absolutely incredible. Without even an ancient weapon, I'm sure that as I farm up a little bit more, you're going to see quite a bit more coming. So hopefully you guys like what you see so far. I personally was extremely skeptical, and now I am extremely excited with the Unhallowed Essence set. It really changes the gameplay, really keeps you on your toes. You've got to stay moving pretty much all the time and get this going. So I don't know. I'm just overall excited about the changes in the direction that pretty much all classes are going right now. I don't even have to do anything. I'll just shoot and point. So that's it. Let me know in the comments below if you've been working with something different on the PTR, or let me know what you think of the Unhallowed Essence set. If you aren't playing the PTR and you're wondering, hey, what exactly is going on with that thing? Is this really going to be viable? All I can say is yes, 100% absolutely. I think this is going to be incredible. Getting all the discipline in the right places, getting your gear in the right place. Once this is fully optimized, I'm pretty excited about where this is going. So let me know your thoughts below. Let me know if you like the changes as much as I do. I love the play style. I love being more active. I love being responsible for all of my damage and not relying on the sentries. This is a beautiful thing. The extra gear, all the changes. Blizzard has so far hit it off right in this 2.2 PTR and the patch upcoming. I just think that they've added so much new stuff, so much new gear, that it's really going to feel like a completely fresh and new game with the same Diablo elements. So let me know if you share that excitement as well. Look forward to seeing you guys more. I'm going to be doing some more PTR farming on different characters and classes as well. So if you haven't subscribed already and you're looking for more upcoming Diablo videos, feel free and subscribe and be on the lookout for those. If you did like the build or the video or anything going on here and you want to hit that like button, that's always appreciated as well. If you want to see me as I'm doing some of the farming, check me out over on Twitch at twitch.tv/jhal4444, and let me know if you got any questions while we're there, and I will be sure and try and answer those the best I can. As always, I appreciate you guys watching. Happy hunting. We'll see you next time.